Samuel, what we're doing today?
Making our finals video.
Hi, I'm Kentren.
I'm Sam Abadie.
So if you're native to this channel, you know that I'll make finals videos around December and May time. Well, this time there's going to be upgrades to this video because I am blessed to team up with Sam Abadie.
Yeah.
So throughout the video, Sam and I are going to collab on rules that we agree. Stay tuned for the very last part of this video because he and I are going to debate on a rule that we both agree on, but with different meaning and context.
Context, yeah.
Context. See, thank you. See, this is what I love, Sam. Sam's backing me up. Let's get to it.
Do it.
Boom.
So here are my rules. What I like to do is I like to figure out what my goal grade is going to be and what I need to get on the final to achieve that goal. So what you need to do is you need to go online, figure out a finals calculator, plug in your current grade, plug in how much the final is worth, and then plug in what your goal grade is going to be, and then it gives you what you need on the final to get your goal grade. And then once you get your goal grade for each final and what you want to get in the class, then you have to create a balance between your studying time based on how hard you know the final is going to be, how much the final is worth, and then how much you want to get that goal grade. So let's say you have an 86% in your math class and you want to finish off with an 85. And the final's worth 20%. So then that means you'd have to get a 20%, you'd have to get an 80% in your final. And then you have your English class, you have an 84% in your class, and you also want to finish off with an 85. But that final's also worth 20. So you'd have to finish off with a 90%. And let's say English is even your weaker subject. So you have to get a higher grade on your English final, and it's your weaker subject. So based on all that information, you'd have to study more for your English final than your math final. And then also one thing that helps me focus a lot is caffeine. So energy drinks, tea, coffee, whatever you can get, just get some caffeine in you and focus and study hard. Then in theory, based on all that information, due to the fact that you have to get a higher grade on the final in English, and English is your weaker subject, then you'd have to study more for English and then math. So figure out all that information for all your finals and prioritize each final. And then also something I like to do is I like to consume a lot of caffeine. So whether it be energy drinks, coffee, tea, whatever it be, just get some caffeine in you. That'll help you focus and then study away.
Manage your time wisely. Get good sleep. So study wisely and hustle your schedule through properly so you do not pull an all-nighter, because all-nighters do not work. They're not worth it. Hey guys, so I'm trying to do my homework right now, and you know, I just came back from a hangout, and it's kind of hard to go from a hangout to home and do homework right away because your mind is like all over the place. And yeah, you're relaxed, you can and the homework's in front of you, so you can technically do the homework. Not exactly, because there's a lot going on in your mind, and it's really hard to focus. And that rule is just learn how to do things to make it work for you. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to walk the dog around the neighborhood and go back home, relaxed, focused, and then do the homework. Hey guys, so you reached to the section where Sam and I are going to collab on the common rules that we agree on that we really want to preach to you guys. So the first rule is focus.
The subcategory for one of those would be to take out all your distractions. First, you got to figure out throughout the year what's been distracting you while you're doing your homework, while you're studying for some test, and you got to identify that distraction. And then when finals comes around, then you got to know what that is and you got to take it out and focus for as long as you need to. I dare you.
Go up to your parents and be like, Mom, here's my phone. Don't give this back to me until studying time is over. And it's not to impress your mom, it's to show your mom that you're dedicated, that you're motivated, that you're hyped to get down to the finals and conquer it so the test can be scared of you.
And another subcategory would be to sacrifice your playtime. If you do sports, whether it's basketball, volleyball, whatever it is, you have to stop doing that for the time being and focus on your studying. And then if you're a part of any clubs, you can't go to those clubs, you have to focus on studying.
And no more partying, no more hangouts, no more going out to eat with these friends. That can come later during winter break. What you need to do now is back to the books. I was once a tennis player, right? There's this quote. Actually, let me put the quote up. Okay, so that quote basically tells me that it's okay to have all these big things that you desire to accomplish. Like, I want to see my friend Gabe Cuneo again. Shout out to Gabe if you're watching this, man. I love you. There's a lot of things that I want to touch. But in life, you gotta set those aside and focus what's ahead of you and do it and conquer it. Just like tennis. You wanna win that match. Okay, perfect. But you gotta focus what's ahead of you. And what's ahead of you is that opponent is serving the ball. And the ball is either chasing you or you're chasing the ball. And you need to brush it away so it can land peacefully.
Yeah, I agree. In tennis, you have to absolutely focus on what you're doing. You can't have any outside distractions. You can't have any outside influences. You just have to focus where you're going to hit the ball, focus on what strategy you're implementing, focus on your technique, focus on everything. Because you have to go out there and assume that your opponent's going to focus 100%, and that the only way you can beat them is that you focus 100% as well. And the more you focus and the better you focus, the better you're going to play, and the better you're going to increase your chances to win the match. So you got to focus if you want to be as successful as possible. Decide why you're doing this. Are you doing this for yourself, or are you doing this to impress your parents? Maybe you're just doing it to impress other friends. Whatever you're doing this for, you have to decide why you're doing this. And if you ever come to a point where you just don't want to study anymore, or you're just tired and you're just done with the studying, you have to go back to that reason and find motivation from that reason so it can give you the extra energy to study more.
So do it with a great reason. The next rule is study.
Our philosophy would be to study in order if you have to. Let's say you have a math final and then the next period you have an English final, and that's on a Wednesday, but you have, let's say, a history final and then a science final the day before that on a Tuesday. So on a Monday you would study for the science and the history because that's the next day finals you have. And then on that Tuesday night after your science and history finals, you would study for your math and you'd study for your English. But of course, all before that, it's important to study on the weekends for all your finals. But make sure to study the night before each final and not spend your time studying for a final that's 2 or 3 days away.
And know what needs to be studied, because if you know that you don't need to touch on chapter 3 of your math book, then why are you wasting your time on chapter 3? If chapter 5 is in the finals, then look at chapter 5. Redo your homework. If you want to, redo your homework. Do it as if you know it, because if you really know it, you can teach it. So to prove that you really know it, teach it to others so you can inspire the thing, and it brings a party up to the thing.
There you go.
But anyways.
And of course, the last one would be to confirm your correct notes. You have to make sure that you're studying the right material, that it's actually accurate information and you know what you're doing. The worst thing would be to go to a final, see a question, you say you know the answer to that one, but all in all, it's just incorrect information that you got. So make sure you know what you're studying, you make sure all the information is accurate, and that that's actually going to be the correct answer if the question comes up.
Mr. Abadie, can you make sure that this question is correct, that I answered it correctly?
Yes, it's correct. You got it.
Mr. Abadie, I still don't understand this question. I got this answer. Can you make sure I did it correctly?
See, there's one little mistake there, but I can help you with that.
All right, cool. Thank you so much, Mr. Abadie. Can I come to you after school to confirm my notes?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Abadie.
Welcome.
The last rule that we want to bring forth is believe. So to believe, you got to eliminate the worriness and go for what you know. You studied hard at home, but now at school, you got to put it into practice. And a lot of people freak out like, oh my gosh, calm down. Believe in yourself, and you got it, and you can conquer every problem. You got to be willing to get into the fire and do what you remember. And it's not so much remembering, it's more of feeling in here. And then this is when the remember comes back to place. As soon as you have here, this will come back into practice. Study very hard at home, and it'll come smooth at school.
I'm the exact opposite. For me, having fear, having worry, that all helps me focus. Because if I have that fear, if I have that worry, I know that I have to get this done. And if I don't get that done, then all my fears are going to come true. So that fear taps into my fight or flight response, and it helps me focus at all. Or I get that fear, I like it there, but too much of it just totally destroys me. and goes back to what Kentren says. But none of it destroys me too. So I have to find that perfect balance of fear and worry to help me the most. So if I have too much fear, too much worry, then all I do is study more so I can get rid of as much of that as I need. If I have not enough fear or not enough worry, then I'll just stop studying. I'll make sure I know the material and I'll just stop studying and go into the test. Go ahead.
I mean, I disagree with that because what he's telling me is that he's studying so hard because of fear, and then he won't have to deal with the scariness once the test comes. Well, the thing is, you're studying in fear, dude. Fear leads to suffering, and once you get to the test, because of the fear at home, it follows you, and then boom, it hinders your answers. That's why I'm like, no, man. I said study hard at home, so once you get to the school, it goes smoothly because you have a strong heart that triggers your memory back to normal.
No, it doesn't hinder my answers though.
Oh, really?
No, the fear part helps my answers. It helps me. I can gauge the information better in my brain when I have fear. So for some of you out there, it might hinder your answers. For some of you out there, it also might help your answers.
But when you fear, doesn't it discredit belief? Doesn't that violate the belief rule? Believe in yourself? Because when you fear, that's not believing in yourself. You're studying fear. Studying confidence shows belief. Because you do it because you know it. Not because, oh my gosh, it's scaring me, so I have to do it. But then you know it's going to follow you back, because if you're studying the fear, it brings back to you. It's like a virus, bro.
See, I never truly believe that I'm going to get a great grade on a test. I can have as much confidence in myself as I can. And to get that confidence, I just study more, study more, study more. So I can have as much confidence as I can. I could have 99.99% confidence in myself. But it's always that one shed of doubt in my mind that stops me from believing truly in myself. Because I don't truly know what's going to happen in the test. I don't
Then you know what you should do then?
What?
Instead of worrying, you should be cautious, because yes, there are obstacles, but you should take every obstacle as an opportunity to thrive. And to worry is to hold you back. To be cautious makes you understand there's obstacles. So when you study hard in confidence and you go smoothly on school, you know that there's going to be a caution that you're going to have to take, but you'll find ways to go over it and then continue on forward. Because if you worry, then it'd be like rough, and then it hits you back, and then you have to fight hard. Why fight hard? You studied hard at home. What's the problem of making it harder on yourself at school?
I just can't agree with that.
Okay.
I need the worry in my life to help me do as best as I can. I need the worry to give me the extra determination, to give me the extra fear in myself, so that I can make sure I get something correct. Because the more I worry, the more I'm going to think about something, and then the longer I think about something, the more logically I can process it and get the most correct answer. See, if I don't have any worry or don't have any fear, I can easily just brush over something. Just read the question, answer it, knowing all in well I got it right. But then if I double check it, if I'm not worried at all, I'm not going to double check it. But with that worry, I will double check it, and I can go back and see, like, wow, I brushed over that, and it turns out it wasn't the right answer.
But then you're following caution. You understand it, but right now worrying is like, I'm holding myself back, it's hard for me. But when you're cautious, you understand that it's ahead of you. Caution doesn't have fear. Worrying has fear.
See, I guess I worry during the test.
You don't want to worry during the test. The test is supposed to go smooth, dude. That's the whole point. You gotta understand that it's not always gonna go your way, bro. You gotta be cautious about it. But if you worry, then that's telling yourself that you're not good enough for the test. You gotta be strong. You gotta give yourself 100%. You gotta be real with it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if I worry, I will tell myself that I'm not good enough for the test. And I do want to be good enough for the test. So if I worry about that, then I'll try my absolute hardest so that I am good enough for the test.
Then how do you compromise these two then?
I don't know. I just do. If I worry, then I just try my hardest.
Okay, well, for me, on my closing statement, I just want to say, study very hard, study in confidence, because when you truly believe in yourself through here, this will come back. This will be back on the test. Do not let fear run you over. Study very hard in confidence at home, and understand there's cautions ahead of you. But when you understand it, and you take that obstacle as an opportunity, it flowed just as smooth as if it was frictionless. I'm gonna be cautious, but I'm not gonna worry, because I believe in me. I'm my own boss. I'm gonna take my blood, sweat, and tears to where it needs to be. I'm a fighter.
My closing statement would be, study as hard as you can, just like Kentren said. That's where we both agree. Study as hard as you can, but if worrying helps you, then I guess it's okay to worry. For me, worrying helps me, so that's what I'm preaching. I don't know if it helps anyone out there watching, but study as much as you can. That's all I can say. I know that I'm always gonna worry about everything, especially finals. And all in all, I've learned to make that help me, because I know if I'm worried, I'm gonna do my absolute best in the finals. And that's what I want all you watching to do.
Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into this finals video. I hope that our tips, my tips, and his tips has enlightened you guys to do better, boosted your confidence, and make all your nervousness go away. And if you're new to this channel, please give it a subscribe. Also give that video a like and comment down what I can do better. Sam, I'm gonna leave it to you.
Make sure to just study as hard as you can, put all your energy to it, all your focus to it. Like the video if you agree with my point of view on believing. Comment if you agree with his point of view. And just good luck on all your finals. And just I hope you do the best you can. And we're out.